We're now into game week 12 of the Premier League season, and this week we have some midweek kickoffs, and well, the players probably hate it, having to play every 3 days. From a fan's perspective, it's absolutely brilliant. While it does provide entertainment, managers absolutely hate it because their players will end up getting burnt out. I also hate it because I have to make more Premier League prediction videos and I look like an idiot every single week. I usually get about 3 or 4 games right. Last week, game week 11, I got 0 games right. That was just a personal low. Surely we can't do worse. It's not possible to do worse. So now we move on to game week 12 Premier League predictions. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Brighton versus Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest currently sit bottom of the Premier League. At their current game to point ratio, they will finish the season with more summer signings than points on the table. They are almost definitely going to get relegated. I would be amazed if they don't. They're just terrible. They made way too many signings. I mean, Jesse Lingard is reportedly being paid £200,000 a week to sit on the bench. Brighton have made a good start to life under their new manager, and though they lost to Brentford last week, I reckon they will win this game. Brighton will win this game 2-0 thanks to goals from Gross and Trossard. Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Both teams haven't been at their best so far this season. Crystal Palace currently sit on 10 points while Wolves sit on 9. Wolves have sacked their manager Bruno Lage, while Crystal Palace have stuck with Patrick Vieira, and that is fair enough. He's done some good work, though it hasn't been the best of starts to the season. Their fixtures have been tough. This game is a really good opportunity to get some form going for Crystal Palace. It's a home game under the lights against a team that hasn't been the best so far this season. Crystal Palace will pick up all 3 points in this game in a 1-0 win thanks to a goal from Anderson. Bournemouth versus Southampton, and how does Ralph Hasenhüttl still have a job? I mean, the results have just not been good enough. Southampton are currently in the relegation zone. It's not like he's not being backed, because he made some very good signings in the summer window, some quality players, Joe Aribo, Bella Kotchap, Gavin Bazunu. Come February next year, I would be amazed if the Austrian is still Southampton manager. I've just spent this whole segment slating him, but I'm going to give him a point in this game. This game is going to be a 1-1 draw thanks to goals from Dominic Solanke and Joe Aribo. Brentford versus Chelsea, and for years I listened to everyone that said Kepa was not a good goalkeeper, but I still backed him. I still told you he was quality. When Graham Potter arrives at Chelsea, Edouard Mendy is dropped, Kepa starts, and that performance versus Aston Villa, it was fantastic and it proved me right. Kepa is back. He's going to have a tough game versus Ivan Toney, who has been fantastic, and I would be amazed if he doesn't get in the England World Cup squad. But I stuck with Kepa when everyone was hating on him. I'm going to stick with Kepa when everyone's loving him. It's going to be a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Kepa will keep a clean sheet. Aubameyang will score 1 and Mason Mount will score the other. Liverpool versus West Ham. Last week Liverpool beat Man City 1-0, arguably the best football team in the world. It was a fantastic performance. When I saw that lineup, James Milner and Joe Gomez at the back, I thought we were going to get annihilated. Haaland would score at least 7. No, Haaland was in Joe Gomez's pocket, Phil Foden was in James Milner's. Of course, me being a reactionary Liverpool fan, I've convinced myself we're winning the league. Well, we're currently 8th, so we're probably not in the title race. Arsenal are currently 14 points ahead of us, but we do have a game in hand. And seeing as Arsenal and Man City's game was postponed, we can get 3 points closer to the title race. I reckon we'll win this game versus West Ham 3-0, thanks to 1 goal from Darwin Nunez, 1 goal from Diogo Jota, and 1 from Mo Salah. Newcastle versus Everton, and after 2 bad results for Everton, I already see people on Twitter wanting Frank Lampard out. Now, I don't think Frank Lampard is Pep Guardiola, but he's still a relatively decent manager. He kept Everton in the Premier League. You have to give him a little bit more time. I wouldn't sack him yet. This game is at St James's Park. Eddie Howe's record there has been fantastic, and it is under the lights, so that's going to make the atmosphere absolutely electric. I think Newcastle will win this game 2-1. Bruno Guimaraes will give Newcastle a lead. Alex Iwobi will quickly get an equaliser, and then Miguel Almiron will bag the winner for Newcastle. Man United versus Spurs, and this time almost 12 months ago, this fixture was named El Sacico. Nuno versus Aldi. Since then, both teams now have new managers. Ten Hag's only been the manager for a couple of months now. It's been mostly positive though with him, and Antonio Conte has been Spurs manager for about a year, and he's done quite well. So it's safe to say both teams sacking their manager did work out well. This time, whoever loses this game, it's not quite as extreme, but it's still an important match for both teams. And I reckon it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Harry Kane will convert a penalty to put Spurs 1-0 up, and then Anthony will bag the equaliser. Fulham versus Aston Villa, and I know earlier I talked about the Kepa masterclass, but Villa really should have been scoring in that match versus Chelsea. I know I say it every single week, but I am amazed Steven Gerrard still has a job. The results just aren't good enough. You look at that Aston Villa squad and they should easily be competing for Europe, but they struggle to score a goal. Earlier on in this video, I also talked about how Ralph Hasenhüttl is a terrible manager. At least he could get a tune out of Danny Ings. He's been appalling under Gerrard. I highly doubt there's much Aston Villa fans still trusting the Steven Gerrard process, and this game is going to be yet another goalless loss. They're going to lose to Fulham 2-0. Thanks to goals from Mitrovic and Andres Pereira. Leeds versus Leicester, and surprisingly last weekend, Leicester did not get battered, and they weren't absolutely terrible. A 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace. And Leicester are finally not bottom of the league, though they are still in the relegation zone, sitting in 19th. Seeing as it's the last prediction, I'm going to make it short and sweet. Leicester are going to get battered in this game because Leeds are fantastic. Leeds are just a little bit inconsistent, but on their day, they're a fantastic side. It's fair enough, they have a young enough squad. And today is going to be their day. They're going to win this game 3-0 thanks to a goal from Rodrigo, a goal from Bamford, and a goal from Aronson. So, that was my Game Week 12 Premier League predictions. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. What would you change? Of course, let me know your Game Week 12 Premier League predictions. Thank you all so much for watching. It's much appreciated. Make sure to like the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.